Welcome back, everybody. Doing these back to back, the tree farm and basically my tavern economy. But before I start that, I'll just look at my melon farm real quick. This is a 98 melon farm. Melons need 2 spaces to grow. I'll just show you guys this really quick in case anyone was wondering about them. You hoe one spot and a spot adjacent to them in a plus sign in the 4 cardinal directions, not the angles, will make where the melon grows. If you only hoe one area next to it, the melon has to grow there. And I put torches down so they always have light and they always grow in the night or day. Now you could put this one here and then this one here and plant all your seeds in a row and then hoe all this in a row. Or vice versa, put all of your plants here, hoe this for where the melon is instead of where the stalk is, and then put all your torches here in a line, right here in a big line, and then put your seeds here in a row. All the melons would grow there, and then you could put, if your second melons would grow here, your next stalks would be here, your next torches. You can actually even improve the quantity of how many you get just by not putting torches down. And if you do that, you could hover some blocks with some torches or some glowstone so they would all get the same light and grow. Like you could hover a block every 4 by 4, let's see, probably 3 up, 4 up we'll say. The melons are growing 3 up. 3 up and in a 5 by 5 block with the light in the middle of that. You could do that too. But they won't grow as fast. And I like the torches because even with all the grass, it keeps all mobs from spawning. I have not seen a single mob in here. Okay, with the exception of like a rare skeleton, and that was extremely rare. Anyway, this is really how to do melons. There are variations to this design, but it works pretty well. Now, forget the melons, my 98 melons. Let's get on to the economy and how the tavern does business for the server I'm on. Now, little history. People have asked me if I'm actually female or male on the server, because if I hit F6 here, or F7, is it F7 or is it F8? Anyway, I'm this Egyptian kitty goddess, has a skin, you know, with the bikini bottom, the metal bikini bottoms and the top, and it's really suggestive. But you see, a guy is named Sailor Moon with a Sailor Moon outfit, you know. So, but anyway, I'm trying to get the third-person perspective. Oh, there we go, and I have a tail in the back. You know, Minecraft is limited on what you can do, but I borrowed this skin. I thought it was fun, kind of funny, kind of semi-cute. People have asked me, are you male or female? And I usually play the androgynous. I usually sort of act a little bit soft, but at the same time not enough to question my masculinity or make me sexually uncomfortable with myself. But I told people there are ways to find out, so I'm not going to tell you. And people are like, aw, but there are ways to find out. I mean, my name in Minecraft is Zenzander, and my YouTube name is Zenzander. I mean, it does not take long to figure out how to find out if I'm a guy or a girl. And if you want to see the basis of where I got my economic idea from, PDW2KX has toured this already. He actually toured my tavern, which I'm kind of happy he did. He didn't tour the back city, but I did that already for you guys, so there's no big deal in that. And he showed the brokerage, big old brokerage. Check him out. Do a search for him, just PDW2KX, and his episode 57. Find that episode, it's brokerage, and you'll see the massive area. Now, it no longer is in service. We have a bear cave, and then which is sort of like brokerage too. And now this, I do a tavern, and this wasn't designed for heavy traffic flow. It's not automated. I mean, you have to actually staff this. And my rules are I have to be here present. Like, people will come in with merchandise and they'll throw it in this chest, and then I'll give them a fair trade in this chest, you know. I put those beef in there as like rotten flesh free with any purchase because I get so much rotten flesh. I use something I call the iron standard. Every item for sale in the tavern has an iron value. And the brokerage had credits, which was redeemable, which was just credits, and you redeem those for other items. You saw that. If you haven't seen it, go see it. My system is, my credits, my tavern currency, is redeemable 1-to-1 with iron. And if you have any credits left over or currency, you redeem those in iron. I do not have standing accounts at all. And so when people ask me, well, how much is this or that, I'll say, like for wool, for instance, I took my pricing idea from the brokerage. So like the brokerage was buying and selling iron. If you sold iron, you got 150 credits, and if you bought it, it cost you 170. So I took that idea, and I said, okay, well, his wool is this much. So what is that in relation with iron? And it actually turned out to be about half an iron per wool. It seems a little pricey, but not really. And then I tried to do some other things like diamonds. For instance, if you wanted to buy a diamond from his brokerage, it was 1,500 credits. And if you wanted to sell iron, that would be 150 credits. So it would cost you 10 iron to buy a diamond. So my exchange, my official rate is if you come in, if you want to purchase my diamond, it's going to be 10 iron for a diamond. Of course, if you want to sell me a diamond, I pay 8 iron for it. And that's really how my tavern works. So, and if people want to buy and sell other items, for instance, if they come in with glow dust and they say, well, how much glow dust can I give you for 4 wool and 5 or 6 stacks of arrows? Well, I sell arrows for an iron per arrow stack. So I'll do the math and say, well, if you're selling me glowstone dust, it's this much. I'll pay you 1 iron for every 3 dust. And then, so if you give me 10 dust, then, well, let's just go do it divisible by 3. If you give me 12 dust, that's 4 iron. And so that 4 iron you could then buy 8 wool with, or if you want to buy only 4 wool, you have 4 iron left in stock, and that's 4 stacks of arrows and 4 wool. See how it works? And if you have anything left over, a decimal, I usually just truncate it or I'll round it. If I'm nice, I'll even give them a better deal. If it's like 12.4 iron I owe them, I'll give them 13 a lot of times. So the tavern isn't really making a huge profit, but it does make a little bit every once in a while. But I have to stock up myself with my stock. Now, I actually got some staff to come in on board with me. So they're helping me out with the logs, and they're helping me out with other items. So I have all these chests set up here, and this wasn't really designed to be heavy flow, so I've had to improvise a lot. And when we get our new map, I'll definitely organize this a lot better to be almost automated. People can come in, grab items, put them in the register, and we'll just cash out real quick. So people can come in. But the tavern has an interesting stock so far. I mean, I tried to get a full supply of everything. So I've got someone doing bread right now for me. But fish, oh god, it takes forever to farm fish. A full chest of rotten flesh. I'm doing melons right now, so we don't buy them because I'm doing them. Full stack of wheat because you can make cakes with that, not just for bread. And this was just for arrows. I actually bought these from brokerage when I had an outstanding credit because brokerage was closing, so I bought as many feathers and flint as I could. So every once in a while I'll make arrow stacks this way without farming them if I'm in a hurry. And it works because people sometimes want a lot of arrow stacks. Oh god, and I did roses. Tons of roses, and this is some dye, a chest of dye, and really rare cocoa beans right now, but we'll get more later. And some flowers. And this was always interesting. This was actually had a theme going for a while because I had sand, and then I had glass, and then I had sandstone. Then I made this chest, and it's getting full of TNT slowly. Takes a while to get all of this, but I think I'll show you how I'm getting all of this gunpowder in a minute. But gunpowder. But I'm not using this for TNT. This is my chest of gunpowder. Tavern's supply is limited. Unlike brokerage, where it's basically infinite. If Tavern has a full double chest of an item, Tavern does not buy any more of that item. But Tavern will still sell that item, obviously. So how it works out that way, Tavern is guaranteed not to go bankrupt. Because if I start with a full chest, which I have done with a lot of items, and I sell them, and then if people sell them back to me, there will be a difference in iron that I'm ahead on. And since I'm using the iron standard, I will always have an extra bit of iron. So the tavern cannot go bankrupt if you start with a full double chest, if I start with a full double chest. So if you want to adopt this system, you start with a full chest of everything, and then you start selling. And then people start selling to you later when your chests get empty, and that's how it works. Now for wool, it's really difficult to get a full double chest of some of that wool. So I've actually limited it. I do a swatch display like this, and the maximum amount of wool of any color the tavern will buy or have on hand is 9 stacks. So 6 colors per chest. Not a little blue, but I'll get more of that later. But this chest isn't full either. You know, the purple, the magenta, the pink, the light blue, and the cyan. Sheep are a little bit iffy in 1.8. and then they'll be breeding in 1.9, so it'll be easier to actually fill this chest up with the colors. And if that happens, I might just farm and farm and farm until I have full double chests of every color. But that's in the making. And I do want some string because some people just want string. I mean, you know, you've got bows, you've got fishing rods. So string has its uses other than wool. But I do have a string farm, and I will show you another farm in another episode. And here's my other chest. Just extra stuff I put in there and some dye I didn't need. Cyan I'll use later, but brown the rare wool right now until we could breed brown sheep. Or grow cocoa bean trees, that would be great. But I'm slowly getting this chest up too. And that's all the colors of wool you have. Of course, this chest is, it has an empty spot because I miscalculated how many colors there were of wool, so that's where I put the string. That's why it's like that. And this is a souvenir chest. Those are all the diamonds I have in the world, so that's not really a lot considering I've been playing for a long time. Because I was constantly using them to buy stuff. So 32 seems like a lot, but they go quickly, and I'm constantly replenishing Tavern supply, so this does not last long. And I rarely make diamond tools. So this is actually a souvenir chest from my dungeon exploration. I found a lot of dungeons, and many of them just had buckets, so I said, I'm just going to make a bucket chest. So I did actually make about 20 buckets at one point, because I was bucketing a ton of lava. But 20 buckets is 2 rows plus 2. So most of this chest is actually souvenirs. And we have a charcoal chest. This is just because I have no place to put it right now. And we do have a coal chest. And those were for our Halloween build. We're not to plant those until later. So those are special items that I can't do anything with. I don't want to anyway. They just look kind of cool. This dog is spazzing out here, but I can't do anything about it. I tried freeing him. He's glitched. I tried killing everything around him. He doesn't move. I can't push him from that spot. So I don't even think I should kill him, but I can't. I can't swing at him. Anyway, this was my glow dust chest with some snow because I don't have much of either of my ender pearls. I'll eventually adopt 3 different chests for each of these. You saw snow get in PDW's walkthrough. Since snow doesn't work in 1.8, when it does in 9, I'll fill up snow. And this is my mushroom chest here with mushrooms. Now about the mushroom farm, this is leftover from before there were gates. So that's how I got in and out. Anyway, the mushroom farm worked up to a point and then stopped working. I know that they work better in darkness, and there was nothing here. This wood wasn't here, and I put this wool just for scenic, but it wasn't here either. And these were growing. So then I put this enclosed area to make it even better, but then I had to knock this out because, actually, I get spawns in here once in a while, and I don't like that. But they can't do Endermen because it's only too high, so Endermen can't spawn here. Except maybe in this part right here. But I harvested this row after it grew. With this design, mind you. They were growing with this design. And now they don't grow anymore. They have not grown from this, and I'm disappointed. So I was going to show you, this is how you do a mushroom farm, but it doesn't work anymore. It just stopped. And that's, maybe there was some bleed over from 1.7 because it was working perfectly then. And in 1.8 you could only use bone meal. And then maybe in 1.9 this will work again. Maybe the mushroom growing is just glitched because of the bone meal that makes them big. You stop the spawning of them. But then I see them spawn everywhere all the time. But it's not working. Maybe they don't need grass in 1.8. Maybe that's what's slowing it down. Maybe I should make it just dirt. Or if anyone has any ideas, if you build this specific design with a mushroom farm and you can get them to grow, let me know what you put down for dirt further where they grow. And I know they can grow on almost any surface. So that's a semi-operational mushroom farm. It doesn't quite work, but it does work. And I have 36 furnaces here just in case I go ape shit on a bunch of charcoal or something. And I already explained to you kind of what this was, like a privacy. This is the only thing that's left over from all the water that was down here. I don't actually think I explained how I built my tavern, so I'm going to do that right now. Let's walk outside and check the front. This was Old Cobble Way, this road you see. And I built this. It goes all the way from the old spawn to here. And then I branched it right here and I built off into the distance. This wasn't here. The only thing that was actually here was King Tutu's mine over there. I don't even think that lighthouse was here, or it had just been built. And none of this was here. Like, none of these builds. That's a recent addition. Her name is Alien. She built that. I told her she could. She could have my mountain. And she's now building, she had a saucer. That beam of water is like a tractor beam. You can swim with it, so it's kind of cool. And then she put a tree on top. This was the boonies. No one lived here. So this is my hermit shack. And that passage you saw was actually right here. If you destroy these, you can actually go down that ladder, and then you'll come out right at that top part. But then again, I saw all this land here. Well, this was actually not land. This was water. And so the beach only extended out a little bit here. In fact, the beach kind of stopped here, kind of went off at an angle, and the remnants of the beach is kind of here. So I could actually build this patty. This, I think it's like a 32 or 8 or something block of smooth stone. I think it goes out like 6. I'm not going to count, but I built this right here. And then that's where all this came from, but it was all water. So I landfilled it. Almost everything under here is total landfill. See all that? Look at all that gravel. That is landfill. I threw all that down there. And so the beach actually was much further back than I thought. So yeah. And I decided that if I was going to build, I was going to make the land. It made it a lot more personal for me. So all this land is mine. Now you can run. So I'm going to... Look, an Enderman got into my fucking build. Jesus Christ. But I put a lot of torches down, so that probably shouldn't happen anymore. And all of this build here is landfill. And half of my city is actually landfill as well. See the moat here? I didn't really get into this, and this is dirt. But especially in this area is a lot of landfill. This dirt... Even the dirt was landfill, but I mostly used gravel. And a lot of reminiscent of that is here, where you can see it. There's some dirt, some sand, some gravel here that I threw down. The gravel especially, because nobody wanted gravel, and I was like, do you have any gravel? And people were just giving it away to me. I didn't even have to beg for it. In some cases, I traded for it. So, and I needed tons. So when I built this, it was very personal for me. And the ocean was about 8 deep in some areas. So it was no mean feat to wall this in. And this melon farm actually is over where used to be a mountain, a hill. The hill went up about 8 to 10 blocks, and it was like just an old straggly, island here. And I actually flattened it down to one below this. I filled this back in when I made the melon farm. But I did make this my original mine. I will show this to you real quick. Each level's only 2 high as a joke. And I made it all, I'm not going to go all the way down to bedrock, but every level is like this, just keeps going down and down by 2. And I actually spread grass here because when I was mining, I'd get friendly mobs spawning, and I could like get some pork or something if I needed it. It was an entertaining little venture, and I was actually gonna extend this, but I decided no, this would be the end, this stair here. So there's grass all the way down to level 7 or something, and my mind goes, and I actually handed this off to somebody. He said, okay, thank you, I'll actually live down there. But then he said, I want to have my own place. And I said, well, why don't you take some of my property? It's kind of funny. All of this real estate I had claimed, but nobody had wanted it. Not that square in the back. That actually came later. Everything behind my city, like that big circular thing you see right there, is actually a big library. And I don't even know if PDW actually covered that library or not. But if he hasn't, bug him about it, because that's actually a very impressive build. I love that library. But anyway, none of this land was claimed. So that mountain over there was mine. That island was mine. And this was actually going up too pretty high, and it was mine. So I told the guy, well, you can have this and flatten it down. But only up so far as the first stairway here, because when I built Cobbleway here, this was all mountain. And it goes down further and further, and there's like stairways up there. So I said, well, you can have it up to this part right here. I'm not going to actually, oops, I'm actually low on food, so I can't actually run. Anyway, so I gave him up to here. I said, you can have up to here. And he really worked hard. He flattened all this out and made it his own property. So, and there's one more thing I want to show you before I sign off for this little mini episode today. And that's my aquarium. You're looking at it right now. It's to your right, but I'll show it to you from the angle I like to look at it on. This was all shallow. It wasn't actually beach, but it was shallow water. And I needed sand initially, so I started to start harvesting this evenly. So I made it, 3 deep. I love how the levels make it look like sediment, even though it's all just sand. The light level is like sediment. I made it 3 deep and almost a square. Except over there, you can see I didn't actually fill in the wall. But I don't mind because I can actually stand on that. And actually, this is still technically a work in progress, because if I need sand, I'll destroy this piece down to that 3rd level. And then what I'm going to do is fill this in with dirt and make it straight. And I call this my aquarium because every once in a while I can just go out here and look and see if there are squid. And squid do spawn here very often. So it makes me feel a lot better now. I have a place where I can easily look for squid. And I have a chest almost completely full of ink at the moment. So, and that's basically from this aquarium and across the way there where those fountains are, that area. Squid just love this place. So, and I can prove to you squid love this place. They love this place ever since like 1.6 or 7 update when squid just was everywhere. I think I showed this to you, but yeah, look, squid love me. Why can't I just kill them? When this chest is full, I mean, I'll have black wool up the ass too, so. I can't wait till that's full, it just makes me feel better. Look at these saddles. I didn't even need a chest of saddles, but that's also a souvenir chest from the dungeons. If I had just put the buckets from the dungeons in the saddles, I think this chest would be exactly full right now because, well, not exactly. There would be more buckets than I would have room for, about up to here. But it would be close. I don't really care about saddles. People try to sell them to me. And I say, look, even brokerage only paid 10 credits a saddle. I mean, it would have taken you 15 saddles to get 1 iron. You can give me 10, maybe even 5 saddles, and I'll give you a piece of iron. But that's about it. And they're like, that seems cheap. Saddles are rare. Yeah, but nobody wants them. Nobody wants to ride a pig. You can't control a pig. It's not like you can attach a truffle, a mushroom, to the end of a fishing pole and make that bait, and then you can steer the fish, which would make a lot of sense if you know how they use pigs to hunt truffles. Anyway, and this was I already showed you that. So, and I have found a stronghold. So I have mossy stone brick. And I have, well, this is just stone. And that's clay. Look at all the clay that started generating a 1.8 with new chunks. I'm going to probably get a second chest and fill it with nothing but brick. So I have clay and brick, just like I have gunpowder and now TNT. I mean, it's nice to just have one of everything, you know? And I think I'm getting lag now. I think I'm getting a lot of lag. I might get booted soon. Oh, there we go. And this is cracked stone, which you don't get as much of as mossy. But this is all nice aesthetics. There's nothing left in the strongholds. They've all been looted. The 3 in our new map. Not this map. This map generated before 1.8, 1.9 with strongholds. But we have a new temporary 1.8 map. And those 3 strongholds have been found and looted. So, and I just have an empty chest here, which I think that's going to be where the brick goes. So, and that's everything from here. You saw the tree farm, you saw the quote-unquote aquarium, you saw that how I built the land, and I really have nothing else to say right now. Maybe the mushroom farm and the melon farm was a how-to as well, but the mushroom farm is iffy. So, post, leave comments. Let me know what you think, how you enjoy it, how you didn't enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, just tell me why. I can always improve. And I'll see you guys on the rebound. Thanks for watching.